Long time to see. Well, that's if people that are subscribed actually give me a hoot. Tonight, on Crappy Cooking, we are having liver. Kate needs to top up her blood supply, you know what I mean?
Because I'm a secret vampire.
Yeah, imagine that. Someone that can bleed for a week every month and doesn't die. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Anyway, 2 lovely slices of ox liver here. We've got 4 beef sausages. We're going to have stewed liver and sausage. Nice and quick, cheap, and tasty and nutritious meal. So I peeled my veg, etc. The liver soaked in milk overnight. I've washed it, dried it, and I've coated it in seasoned flour. As you can see in that pan there, I've got a tatty that I've chopped up into chunks about yay size. It's cold water in there and it's salted. My oven's on at 180. I'm not putting this on yet for a reason for it. So I've got my pan on. Wee glug of olive oil. Not a Jamie Oliver amount because you know America might invade the pan. So the first thing I'm going to put in is my sausages. It's on a relatively high heat. Keep the pan because we're going to do this in stages. So first thing to do is to brown them. Okay, as you can see, sausages are browned. Not too much, not too little. About 3 minutes, and I'm going to take them off now. They aren't cooked through. If you're in even more of a hurry, you could have started your tatties by now and cooked the sausages a bit further. But I'm not doing that. So I'm going to put in my liver. And I'm going to discard this flour. So the liver is going to get about, you know, a minute each side. Okay, so all the liver's coloured in. I've cut the onion into half. I'm keeping 2/4 like that. Taking the stalk out the other half. Just slice it. And same with my garlic. Garlic's going to be a nice big chunk. On the other side, give them the plate of white. I'm going to use that plate again just to put the liver on, and all will become clear. Okay, so like I said, a minute either side, chopped. Next thing I'm putting in is my carrots. I'm going to give them a bit of a colour. I'll put them on the plate with the liver. After a while you want to put your onions in, get them a nice colour. We will come back to this chopped onion. This is just to give you a bit of texture and also part of your vegetable side dish. We're going to have to start another wine soon. There you go, you can see that there's a good bit of colour into that. There, I'll pour your wine in a wee second. No point in wasting the root there, so let's face it, we all love a good root. So we'll get our chopped onions into the pan with the garlic. Salt, pepper. I'm just going to give that a stir. And again, it is a little bit of a faff this, but it's quite important. You know, you want to get a nice bit of colour on your onions. There I've got a brown stock. I'm going to have some colour from the wine and the port and even the gravy thickener, you know, whether you use Bristol or whatever. But you get a nice bit of colour on your sliced onions and garlic. It'll sweeten up the dish as well. And I'm going to take these out in a minute just to get them started. Ooh. That's so fun. Remove the carrot and the quarter onions. See, nice bit of colour on them. And you'll have noticed I haven't added any more fat to the pan. If you want to do that, then fine. I wouldn't bother. You know, fat's flavour. There'll be a little bit of the flour out in the liver. But if you want to speed up the caramelisation of your onions, just a wee sprinkling of sugar. That's a wee tip for you. Another wee tip is gonna stand up in a canoe. And you'll see that the sugar's already about to start caramelising. I would have said too far, but that's too close. So just let them brown a wee minute more. Okay, no. So you get a bit of colour on your onions and garlic. You don't have to add tomato puree, but you can add about a good tablespoon just because I want to. And you want to cook it out for 20-30 seconds. By cooking out, it's a catering term. You want to kind of evaporate even more of the moisture, even though tomato puree is already concentrated. You want to concentrate the flavours a bit more. Now I'm using a non-stick pan. If you weren't using a non-stick pan, you would want the temperature to be a bit lower. So I'm going to put in half a glass of port. About half a glass of red wine. You want to reduce that ever so slightly just to burn off the alcohol. 2-3 minutes of reduction should be enough. Like I say, you're just burning off the alcohol. When you cook with alcohol, it is important to burn it off because it just doesn't taste nice at all. 750 ml of beef stock. It's a dark beef stock that I made a few months ago and kept in the freezer. And we'll bring this back up to the boil. Hopefully, once your stock has come up to the boil, you can thicken it with your choice of thickener. Flour and water, beurre manier, corn flour. I'm using gluten free gravy granules. Not putting too much in. You don't want it to be too thick because it's going in the oven, so it will reduce ever so slightly. So yeah, just get it to the thickness that you want it to. Cook it out, check the seasoning, and then we'll come to the next stage. Right you go. So that turned out to be the right amount of thickener that I wanted. It's the sort of consistency you want it to be able to leave a trail, but it's still going to kind of creep through. Now, I'm going to put my onions in, carrots in, and the sausages. I'm going to leave the liver just for just now. If you like your liver well stewed, which I don't, put your liver in now. other than that, I'm going to cover it with a cartouche. This is why this pan's got a foil handle. Foil covered handle is because it's wooden. So pan goes into the oven. And then, this is why we haven't put the tatties on. Turn it up full whack, put your tatties on with cold water. And the idea is that once the tatties are ready, your stew should be ready. We're going to add the liver with maybe about 5 minutes left to cook because I want to keep it slightly pink. And that's that. I've got some veg to go with it. And we'll show you it at the time. Meanwhile, you want to tidy up. This is one of the things about cooking is people go, oh, I've got so much dishes at the end. Tidy up as you go along. It's not good fish. Oakley dokley. So, in about 25 minutes, the tatties should be cooked. Should be cooked. Yep, they are. I'm gonna put a piece of water in, put some sugar snap peas. Keep it down there. Wee flash of water. And then I'm going to drain my spuds. Once I've drained the spuds, I'm going to add the liver and then I'm going to mash them. Righty, I've added the liver to the sausages, put them back in the oven. I've given these a wee dry, just by putting them back in the heat. I'm sure you all know how to mash tatties. If you want them smooth, you could use a tatty ricer or a food mill. Another good wee trick is to use an electric whisk. I'm going to put about 50 grams of butter and this fits, yeah. A heaped dessert spoon of English mustard. You might think that's excessive, and that's ridiculous. Hand and eye coordination.
Watch you bend down to get that. Come on.
Well, the yogurt's not paying off. Take them off the rest. So yeah, you're just going to beat that in. And I'm going to add my kale to my tatties. And I beat a bit of kale. And if you want, you can cut this up a bit more. I don't want to. I'm just going to stir this through. And yeah, it's raw, but obviously the heat of the tatties is going to wilt it a little bit. Another thing I've done is I've wrapped some cling film around the spoon. It's always good if you wrap up before you do the deed. Yeah. The heat's off of this. Small amount of liquid we had in the sugar peas is off. The next thing is just to get pull your meat out. Giggity. And I've got my warmed up plates, so yeah. Plating up's the next thing to do. Oh. Righty-ho. Everything's cooked. The carrots have got a nice firm texture because you've not cut them into small pieces. Cut them in half. The bowls were warming in the top oven while I was cooking, so I want to get a epoxy quenelle, which I do. Voila! You see, it doesn't stick. Plastic's very good for protection. Don't have to be pretty. Carrots in there. Don't really need to watch me plate enough, I suppose. Gravy over the top. Your onions. If you're in the Cooking Through Corona group on Facebook, you might want to get the sauce all over the side of the plate. Seems to be the norm. Yeah. Looked like one sausage and one bit of liver was more than enough, so you've even got leftovers for tomorrow. So there we go, stewed liver and sausage with the splitters on the side of the plate, a la Cooking Through Corona. Happy, crappy, kucharic Corona cooking. What do you think?
Empty bowls.
So, honest opinion, you're not a fan of liver. How was that?
It's lovely. I am a fan. I don't, you know, I would rather choose something else over it on a menu. But yeah, it's lovely.
Tasty and filling, wasn't it? That was what, one sausage and one slice of liver, a bit of tatties and some veg. Right, happy crappy cooking. Sweating like a jippo with a mortgage.